All right. Thank you, Dave. And thanks to the entire Temporal team for putting on another great replay this year. Hello, everyone. Like Dave said, my name is Kevin Phillips. I'm the Director of Backend Development at Bitovi. We are a product and software consulting company, and our focus is on helping teams perfect their products. My team's been working with Temporal for several years now, and this is our second year at Replay. Last year was such a great experience, and we're so grateful to be a part of it again this year, seeing this community totally explode. This community, all of you out here, is one of the biggest reasons we're excited to continue to recommend Temporal to our clients. Since last year's Replay, we've had the incredible opportunity to work with over a dozen companies building key pieces of their products on top of Temporal. One theme has popped up in these projects and our conversations. Our clients wanted to know, how can we use Temporal a lot more without paying a lot more? This theme presented itself with a few different types of questions. The first type was related to scaling and performance. Our customers understand how Temporal can help solve their problems, and they want to use it more and more. They want to expand Temporal usage to more of their users and open up more and more use cases. So they ask questions like, we've completed a proof of concept. What do we need to do to make it production ready? We have our first use case in production. How can we open it up to all of our users? How can we set up auto-scaling to handle spikes in demand? And what metrics should we be looking at to know that we're performing well? The second set of questions is extremely related. Customers want to use Temporal more, but not exhaust their cloud budget. Some of these questions are really high level. How can we reduce our costs? Can you help us estimate Temporal cloud costs for this new use case? To much more detailed things like, can we use a data converter to reduce our storage costs? Or should we use activities instead of child workflows to lower our action count? If any of these sound like questions that you've had or are just things that are interesting to you, make sure to check out these two talks by a couple of our incredible engineers. Both are on the SideQuest stage tomorrow. At 10:40, Nils will be talking about reducing cloud costs, and at 2:50, Austin will be talking about using cloud metrics to auto-scale workers. But those are the questions that guided all of our conversations last year, and we want to think about this next year. I'm sure there are many questions that you all have and solutions that you already have in the community. We'd love to talk to you about your biggest questions and also the solutions that you're already using today. Come by our booth right outside here. Find me, anyone on the Bitovi team. We'd love to hear from you.
Great to see everyone here at Replay. So we are TechFabric and one of the elite sponsors here. And to be honest, guys, I'm just going to do a quick overview of what we do because I want to get to the better stuff, which is talking about real-time use cases and problems that we're solving using Temporal, right? So I'm just going to give you a quick overview so you understand in context a little bit what we do. So we're one of Temporal's premier partners. We work heavily with them, implement them in just about everything we build because we work in the mission-critical space. So what do? We build mission-critical applications that solve complex business challenges, right? Kind of dry and boring, but give you a little bit better idea. If you could see, or wherever the screen is, I don't even see it. But you can see we work across all different areas in technology. So because we're problem solvers, right? So when companies need help, it might be their dev team that needs help. It might be the business team. They might need operational ecosystem. They might need a new e-commerce engine. They might need AI, right? Whatever that challenge is, we step in and augment their team, partner with them to solve those challenges. Right? But to kind of put a wrapper on it over everything we do, guys, we do take a different approach because we work in mission critical, right? Which is why Temporal is such a hand-in-glove fit for us. Because bottom line is that we can't fail, right? The systems that we work on, highly regulated industries, right? If something happens, it's not just that a transaction failed, it's a $100,000 fine, right? So this is serious stuff that has to happen the right way every single time. So for us, it's our different approach is we bring modern development because we work across so many different areas, right? So you guys are tunnel vision on certain problems. We're seeing that problem 17 times in 50 different ways, right? So that ability to bring that to our clients, that external view, is really what we do. And what are we trying to change, guys? Make it delivery reliable, right? How many outsource teams or partners do you work with that's the struggle? Do they really understand that you are relying on this technology to make it happen? No, they don't, right? Or they don't act like it, right? We act like it because that's all we do is mission critical, right? And I'll just say the other piece is, one of the keys to us is making sure that we have industry expertise, right? So it's, when we're working in finance, we have done this 55 times. It's not our first rodeo, right? So we understand intimately, whether it's healthcare, whether it's supply chain, whatever the case may be, we understand the industry, not just the technology. And really, I'm going to wrap up by saying this, guys, is, what makes us different, right? There's a million software companies out there, right? What makes us different? What makes us different, honestly, is that our teams think in value, not shipping code. Right? So what does that mean? Real simple is, we're looking at a business problem and how are we going to move the needle? Not how are we going to fulfill a contract? Not how are we going to do this migration from this to this? Is that actually going to move the needle at the company? Is it going to create efficiency? Is it going to generate revenue? If it's not doing one of those things, why are we doing it? Right? And then I'm just going to jump to Temporal. So as I said, guys, Temporal is hand in glove with what we do. Because, again, our clients, they can't be in a position where something's going to fail. And if it does, we have to be able to fix it instantaneously. So getting that reliability, the scalability, the resilience, and the durability that we get from Temporal takes us that step further, right? Allows us to help fulfill on that mission-critical moment. And on that, guys, I'm going to wrap up, and I'm going to turn it over to Troy, our CTO. And Troy is going to share a little bit of a story with you about what work we're doing with Lifetime, Lifetime Fitness, right? They have divisions that are mission-critical divisions, right? So Troy is going to give us an overview of that right now.
Thank you, John. As you said, my name is Troy Busot. Who's ready for a cocktail? I'm assuming just about everybody. Very nice. Give me about 2 minutes of your attention here, and I just want to talk a little bit about how we're using Temporal to solve mission-critical solutions at scale. So one of our customers is Athlinks and Chronotrack. And are there any endurance athletes in the room? Any mountain bikers, runners? Got a couple here. So Athlinks and Chronotrack, we help them deliver solutions for athletes, race directors, and timers on the weekends all around the world. So chances are, if you've crossed a finish line anywhere in the world in the last 15 years, you've used some or all of our platform that we've helped to deliver them. The way to think about a timer is sort of like the umpire or the referee in a sporting game, where the last thing you want, if you're mentioning the timer, it's probably not a good thing. It means that they missed a tag read. It means that they miscalculated a finish time or a place. So it's really important that we deliver the right solution every time on time. It's basically a timer. You've got about 1,000 small business owners all around the world who deploy race equipment on race day. Their reputation is their tag reads, is their ability to score a race. You screw it up one time, it can sink their business literally in a small market. So we take that very, very seriously. So recently I volunteered to pace a total stranger at the Leadville 100. So Leadville 100 is a foot race in Leadville, Colorado, 10,000 feet above sea level, rising to about 12,600 feet, 18,000 feet of vertical gain. And I'm going to help pace this. Turned out to be a Microsoft executive between miles 60 and 75 that day. So I wake up the morning of race day, snug as a bug in my bed. My phone vibrates. I get an alert. Race starts. Ken Klober's there with his cowboy hat on, blowing off the shotgun in his famous way he starts that race. But I get my race alert. Athlete is on course. Race has started. I jump out of bed. I grab some breakfast, quick workout. A couple hours later, my next race alert goes off. Racer is through mile 20, right on time. I clean up. I get ready to go. I get another race alert. Athlete is through 30 miles, right on time. I hop in my car. I make the drive from Boulder up to Leadville. My athlete's right on time through 50 miles. And so what's going on here is that, again, these Chronotrack timers have deployed these controllers on course. The athletes have this little tiny RFID tag on their shoe, and that is getting tag read, and those are pumped up into an AWS cluster, which is then calling, writing to the database, calling a bunch of Lambda jobs that's processing photography, tag reads, timing, calculating pace and splits, sending out text messages to people who are worrying about their loved ones and where they're at on this 100-mile foot race, 10,000 feet above elevation, and all of this is orchestrated with Temporal, right? And so I get there, I get up to Twin Lakes, and if you've never been to an ultramarathon, please go to one and just watch it. Watch the passion and the grit that's on display, the literal blood, sweat, and tears, and frankly, other bodily fluids that are expelled at these races. It's just unbelievable. So we're waiting for our athlete to come through. 1 hour turns to 2, 2 to 3. My guy's struggling on course, but my phone finally vibrates. He's a mile out, he's coming in. So he comes into Twin Lakes, and we sit him down, we rip off his socks and shoes, we clean and dry his feet, we throw the socks back on, get him a new fresh set of kicks, and we're off out of Twin Lakes. So Twin Lakes, it's at a lake, again, mountain lake. It's about 50 feet of just vertical trail straight up. I'm behind him, literally hands on ass, pushing him up this hill to get to the flat trail, and we get there. So we're going through this tree line in Leadville, and I mean, it's dark, like Milky Way dark. You can see every star in the sky, and we're getting there. We're going through 1 hour, 2 hours. It's about midnight now. We're dying, but we finally hear the music playing, and we get to the next timing station. Now, at the timing station, at this aid station, we get word that there's this massive storm blowing in over May Queen, 15 miles up the road, and we've got 5 miles to the next cutoff. But we heard that noise, that little beep, that tag read on that ChronoTrack controller, and so I tell my guy, it's up to you. If you want to do this, I'm here for you. I will absolutely run with you through the forest for the next 5 miles, racing the clock in that storm, and frankly, your levels of endurance to do this. Now, you might be asking yourself, like, I thought Temporal was like mission critical banking, it's got to be there positively overnight type of thing. I happen to be the founder of Athlinks, so I started that company 15 years ago before I joined TechFabric. And when I looked at my athlete and I said, look, I'm here for you, I will do this with you, he looked at me and said, look, I got the tag read, my family knows I'm safe, they know I'm vertical, they know I'm moving forward. I'm in, let's do it. And in that moment, I'd been involved in racing for 15, 20 years. I realized mission critical is all about context, right? For him, in that moment, there was nothing more mission critical than letting his family know that he was safe, that he was vertical and moving forward. So to anybody in the room right now from Temporal, if you're wondering if it's worth it, the salespeople, the support folks, the engineers, if it's worth it to stay up 1 more hour at night to finish a product or to fix a bug, I'm here to tell you it's worth it. You're doing great work, and we want to thank you. And if you need a project to get it across the finish line, to get it across course, to land it across, give us a call at TechFabric. We will help you because we understand mission critical is all about context, and we understand the context better than anybody. So thank you. Let's go get a drink.
All right. And guys, just real quick, if you want to learn more about us or if you want to sign up for an hour to talk directly to our Temporal engineers, right, and learn to solve problems, scan the QR code, enter your info, and there you go. Or we'll see you at our booth tomorrow.
John and Troy, thank you so much. That was an inspiring story. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that was wonderful.